Cows mooing, magpies warbling, and an old mullock. I feel right at home in amongst the gum trees. Can't say those two things by themselves. Home amongst the gum trees. Like two peas in a pod, really. On a bit of a four-wheel drive trek today, very sedate. Won't be engaging the max tracks at any point today, at least I don't presume to. So we're on course between Yea and Buxton. For those four-wheel drive enthusiasts that may be out there in watching land, this is not the channel to be checking out how to remove your four-wheel drive by winch off a tree stump in the middle of the desert. If you want someone for that sort of advice, head on over to Ronnie Dahl. He's got some great little tips and tricks over on his channel. Like most people, I've got a slight coffee addiction that equates to about 2 a day, and I'm kicking off the day with this coffee from halfway down the main street, left side, heading towards Yark. And it's called Just Great Coffee Yay. How's that for a business name? Just Great Coffee Yay. You know, great place to get a sense for what's going on in the local community, as it is for getting a good coffee. Don't go pocketing any nuggets now, will you? This marks the site of an old homestead. Stanley homestead, in fact. What's the giveaway? Well, a deciduous tree for one. Looks like a decent sized oak tree, and over here to my left is a big conifer. And the final clue to give it all away is this boiler. Oh! Hello! Nice little echo effect going on here in the valley, and I didn't even have to speak up to realise it. Beautiful little spot for a camp sometime. Toilets over here, and plenty of space. Looks like there's been a few campfires here over time. Gosh, I need to stop pulling over every 500 metres, otherwise I'm never going to get through what should be a short day trip here in the four-wheel drive. But one last time before I look at the map and see the next significant feature I should actually stop for. Spotted this manna gum, as you can see, right on the edge of still Ginter Road here, and we've got this beautiful big, what they call a burl. So these burls come about for a variety of reasons, but basically they're born about by the tree due to stress factors. It's a prized piece of wood, this burl. Often used in the construction of large circular based coffee tables. Woodworkers love them. So many spiders in this bark. Something to think about before embracing it for too long. Quite an incredible section of the bush, this. Prolific with these skinny manna gums, and then it's got this first floor canopy that rises about 3 metres, and these plants, whose name I've got no idea about, I haven't got the assistance of Dr. Google with me, catches the bark off the manna gum as it sheds and creates this eerie effect where you just have all this bark hanging about in the first floor canopy. We're in a valley here, so the sun doesn't penetrate to the valley floor, and you're just left with this extremely wet, mulchy material. Beautiful conditions for the lyrebird, and also perfect conditions for the leech just to hang out and wait for any warm-bodied animal to come along and linger for a little too long before just creeping up under the cuff of the pants latching their little teeth in, and then filling their pouches full of blood, your precious blood. So don't linger too long. This is definitely not ideal. Always pays to bring the right tools when you're out four-wheel driving, and a chainsaw is included to that list of right tools, because there ain't no way you're going to karate chop your way through a tree trunk like that. I don't recommend doing this unless you don't have the right tools and you're not going to cause too much destruction, but there's a bit of leeway up here on the bank. It's quite flat, and I think there's enough elevation in the four-wheel drive that we can just creep over the top of these branches and then come down off the embankment, I think. I must admit that had me puckered up quite a bit. Always a nerve-wracking experience doing something with a new vehicle for the first time, and getting up on that embankment and mounting that tree was not something I had in plan today. Next time there'll be a chainsaw in the back. If there's one thing about overcoming challenges in slightly more difficult ways, it's that the next time you encounter it, you'll be better prepared for the job with the right tools on board. Chainsaw. Okay, we've officially hit the old SEC power line cutting. So it's going to be a bit of a scramble down this road before we get back on the more interesting Murrindindi Road. What do you reckon, Russ? Good fun? Oh, I knew you'd get excited. Always get transfixed by these high transmission power lines. It's like something akin to the pyramids. I don't know how they strung these lines up or erected these towers in such unfriendly terrain, but it would have been one hell of a sight to see them putting it together. Hope it's not doing anything funny to my head, all that buzzing. Black Range Road and Falls Creek Road was a nice looping scoot coming up the ridgeline here on Falls Creek Road. Enjoyed that drive. Big branch down over the road at one point. I thought, oh, here we go again. I'm going to be foiled by the lack of a chainsaw, but just enough space to squeeze through, so thankful for that. And now it's all downhill to the Bucky Burger. Careful, slippery, careful. Oh, look at this. Someone left their payload up on top of the ridgeline here. Time to go cash a check. Well done, Victorian Government. About time you got on board for the recyclable scheme. Raptor never does anything quietly. Chainsaw. It's been a couple of times today I would have liked one of those. I'll know better next time. So a couple of lyrebirds crossed the track before I could get this little GoPro fired up. It gets so damn dark in these logging coops in the winter time. Sun just disappears and stays so low in the horizon. We're only at about just after 3 o'clock, 5 past 3, but it feels a bit more like 5 past 5, at least for summertime. Not quite the Bucky Burger, but it's probably the most recognisable part of Buxton, and that's the trout fishing farm sign at the gateway. This one's a 7 out of 10 Get Terry adventure for mine. Great Sunday cruiser with the family. I've enjoyed it. and importantly it's got plenty of scenery variation, which is important to any trip. Now for the best part of the run, and that's the trip back down the Black Spur. Till next time, get Terry and get outdoors.